Hi guys, what's up? This is Blowjos, and today I'm going to be giving you another kind of Hulk themed review. Today I've got Marvel Select Red Hulk figure. This was originally released as a Big Bad Toy Store exclusive, the online site, and was priced at that website for $29.99, and it has the same sculpt as the previously released. I believe it was Ultimate Hulk. Uh, yeah, same sculpt except different head sculpt. And I managed to pick this up at my local comic book store for $22.95. So yeah, decided to get that out of the way first. And one thing to say, this figure is enormous. So that being said, let's get on to this review. As you can see, the bubble pack is, or the card back is fairly decently sized here. I believe this is the same size for all Marvel Selects. You can see it displays the Red Hulk very nicely. Nice read up on, or a nice name on the side there, Marvel Select, and a big biohazard sign. And yeah, some really cool artwork in the background of the bubble there. And you can see Hulk is displayed. He's filling up the whole bubble. So that's the front of the package there. I'll show you this side first. On the left side, there's nice comic art there of the Red Hulk himself. On the back, you can see the Red Hulk out of the package here, as well as a picture of the Incredible Hulk and Ultimate Hulk, which this Incredible Hulk figure has the exact same sculpt except different head sculpts, and this Ultimate Hulk is a little bit different. But few little logos on the bottom here. Diamond Select, who just so happens to be the company that made, or who makes Marvel Selects, and Marvel Universe, whatnot, local comic shop. Big deal. Shows a picture of the first Red Hulk comic, I believe, and then there's this little write-up here, and it says, "Who is this new Hulk? Smashing onto the scene after the events of World War Hulk." And then there's a typo here, if you can see that. It says, "This is," this is strange, so it's supposed to be this space strange, but they put the S over attached to strange. Red Hulk is pulverizing gamma-powered individuals with an agenda on all its own. What created this new menace? How can it be stopped? And what does this mean for the rest of the Marvel Universe? So yada yada, your average warnings and choking hazards and whatnot. That's about it for the package. Let's move on to the figure. Alright guys, back. Just opened the figure here, and let me tell you, he is pretty big. His articulation is all working just fine out of package. But before I get much into the figure here, I'm gonna show you something else that came into the package. Just a big ad paper that has ads for all the other Marvel Select figures, like Juggernaut, which I've actually ordered online, Abomination, Deadpool, Gambit, and Magneto. And on the back, just a bunch of mini-mates, which are really lame. And also on the very corner here, there's some ads for Marvel Select, Loki, and Thor. Little paper add-in that I'm just going to chuck out. But nice to get in there, see the other figures. And also there was a little picture of the Red Hulk on the package inside. I'll just show you real quick here. Just a little face of the Hulk there behind the figure, so you didn't really see it. And yeah, that's about it for that. And back to the figure here. I gotta tell you guys, this is huge. He's roughly, I'm guessing, 10 inches tall. He fits in the base nice. His one foot is fitting anyway. The other foot is just being stubborn for some reason. But one thing I will say is that when I picked it up, I thought it would be entirely, I don't really know how to describe it. For some reason, I was under the interpretation that it would feel a lot, I don't even know the word. It just, you know, it feels a little bit cheaper to me than I thought it would. But at the same time, you know, it's got so much heft, and it is not rotocast. This is one solid chunk of plastic. I gotta say that I'm pretty impressed. The detailing on this figure is really nice, and I mean, for $22.95, you can't go wrong these days. Or I mean, I guess you can, considering figures like Kyle Rayner here are like 1995 in Canada anyway. In the States, I think they're $14.99. But for like an extra $3 in Canada, you get this awesome figure. And I've heard of people paying upwards of $60 for this figure, which personally I would never pay for this figure. Anyway, get back to the figure here. There's some really nice paint detail I really like on the hair here. I'm not sure if you can see it, but they've actually highlighted the tips, so there's a bit of definition in the hair. I'm probably not going to use this base that he came with just because he stands so well anyway. But yeah, some really nice paint detail. They've done a black wash over the entire figure to really bring out the muscle definition, and they've painted the fingernails gray, which is correct to the comics, which is awesome. They've done some really nice detail on the pants here as well. They painted it gray, but then did like this, I don't know, like this almost burgundy gray kind of, or not burgundy, burlap gray and brown kind of a wash over top of it to bring out the detail. And it's, it just really looks like these pants were just recently ripped, and it's just overall a really great looking figure due to paint. One thing I'm going to complain about, though, like every other reviewer before me, is the articulation. He's missing a few key points, which would really bump him up a notch here. I mean, the legs at the state that they're in, they could have been a little bit better, maybe by making this ball joint maybe a more universal ball joint on the hip. And besides that, the legs are just fine. What really bothers me is the lack of an ab crunch and a bicep swivel. If he had those two points of articulation added in, this would be a perfect figure personally. A perfect figure as in like articulation kind of thing. But just those few points of articulation hold him back. What he does have is a pretty movable ball and socket head joint. He's got not quite a ball socket on either side, but I think it's a ball and hinge joint on either arm. He's got a ball and hinge elbow on both sides, which are pretty movable. He can get some pretty good moves out of that. And swivel wrists. No ab crunch, like I said. He does spin at the waist, though, which is nice and tight. I like when my figures have a bit of tightness to them so that I know they're not going to fall apart. And like I stated earlier, he's got a ball and socket leg, which does actually have a fair bit of movement. I wasn't being very fair on it earlier. Ball and socket knee, which can bend all the way back there and forward. Here. The leg has a tendency to kind of move around on you while you're fooling around with it. And he's got, oh man, this is a massive figure, so when I'm playing around with it, it's really effing up the pose. There we go. Let's see if that works. Alright, and he's got a hinged ankle, which has some pretty deep posability there. Nice range of movement. So, like I said earlier, the price point on this figure was right for me anyways. It was $22.95. But if you go to BigBadToyStore.com, I believe they still have it actually for $29.99 US. But just keep in mind, when you buy this figure, the shipping is going to be monstrous because it does weigh like 2-3 pounds at least. All that aside, though, I should also mention probably that he does come with a base, which is it's not bad. It's pretty big. Comes up about to his chest, almost shoulder level there. But it is just made of this thin, kind of useless plastic. It's got some nice detailing. Looks like some crushed rubble. Whatever. Probably won't use it. Throw it in my spare parts bin. And I'll give you a size comparison here. So Red Hulk is, like I said earlier, probably about 10 inches tall. Here's Green Lantern Classics Kyle Rayner comes up to about his elbow. And my recently reviewed Marvel Universe Scar figure. Comes up just about to the waist there. So like I said, this is a pretty decent figure. If you can find it for a good price, I'd definitely warrant purchasing it. Like it's good. It's good. It's got some nice paint detail, nice heft. Don't throw this at anybody because you will hurt and or possibly kill them. But it's pretty decent. They've got really good paint details, really decent sculpt. Not crazy about the articulation, but it's not bad. This is probably the best Red Hulk figure there is on the market right now. The only other one that I can really think of, or the only other two that I can really think of, is the Build-A-Figure Target exclusive and the Marvel Universe version. But that being said, if you can find this figure, definitely buy it. Pick it up immediately if you find it in your comic book store for less than $30. But anything more than that, and I wouldn't really go out of my way to get it. But anyways, that being said, this is Blojo signing off. Keep collecting whatever it is you collect, and have a great day. Talk to you later. Bye.